Good evening, I'm Mary Nightingale. This is London Tonight. First this evening, more than 100 tube passengers were led to safety through an underground tunnel tonight after two trains stalled during peak time. The commuters were trapped for more than an hour before being helped out by London Underground staff. The incident happened on the Victoria line, northbound between Vauxhall and Pimlico. Louise Bevan reports.
A fleet of ambulances were on standby at Vauxhall tonight. In the middle of the rush hour, 130 people trapped inside two trains in a tunnel. Nobody was taking any chances. The emergency began just before 5:30, when one tube train ground to an inexplicable halt just outside Vauxhall Station on the Victoria line. Another pulled up behind to try to shunt it out, but failed. The passengers were trapped underground for an hour and a quarter before being led out along the track.
We were just told that we were stuck. There's a train in front of us stuck, and they were just trying their best to get us out. They kept us informed the whole time.
Bit shaken. It feels funny walking along the track, and especially when you don't expect it. It was very close, and it was a tense situation. Everyone was quite frightened.
One passenger needed treatment for an asthma attack, but there were no casualties.
If the incident had been protracted, it would have got worse. But everybody's out, everybody's happy.
An inquiry into what happened has already been launched. Tube services are running through Vauxhall tonight, but are subject to delay. In Vauxhall, this is Louise Bevan for London Tonight.
He survived a barrage of criticism over a number of indiscretions, but could this be the end for Tory MP David Mellor? Some of his own party workers say they've had enough of his antics. They want another Tory candidate to fight the Putney constituency. Our political correspondent Paul Larsman reports.
Just as it was beginning to look like David Mellor's political career had weathered the storms of his personal life, serious dissent from the party faithful. Donald Mackenzie's a loyal Tory, a small businessman who's been a member of Putney's Conservative Association for 5 years. But at the AGM on Friday, he'll support this motion, proposed and seconded by two other stalwarts, which calls on David Mellor to stand down in advance of the next election.
I find Mr Mellor's personal behaviour, his affairs, regrettable. I also find his commercial involvements out with Parliament regrettable. I don't mean to go on about any specific thing, his holidays paid for in Spain, other things which generally in a totality give the impression of that dreaded word sleaze.
Mr Mellor's constituency party was generally supportive over his affair with actress Antonia de Sancha. But news of a second entanglement with Lady Cobham, one which has ended his marriage, shocked many local Tories. Others might have forgiven him even that if he hadn't subsequently kept such a high media profile. Officially, though, Mr Mellor's party potentates still back him to the hilt and are dismissive of the dissidents.
Troublemakers, let's put them like that. They're bringing this association into disrepute and the Conservative Party.
Friday's meeting threatens to be a stormy one. An alternative motion says that members who seek to undermine Mr Mellor should resign or be thrown out of the association. In Putney, this is Paul Larsman for London Tonight.
The fiancé of EastEnders star Gillian Tailforth has been found guilty of assaulting a policeman. A magistrate fined Jeff Knight £2,000 and ordered him to pay £150 compensation to PC James Hall. Knight threw Officer Hall down the stairs when he arrived at the couple's house. He'd been called by Miss Tailforth to investigate claims that Knight had assaulted her. The parents of a baby left to die by a hospital are considering suing. Jacqueline Watson was born 12 weeks prematurely at the Middlesex Hospital, just 2 days too soon for doctors to consider reviving her. Her parents claim they were traumatised by watching her die. A coroner ruled a verdict of death by natural causes. A new slant on those soccer sleaze allegations. An Essex referee today revealed he was offered bribes to act as a go-between for Asian businessmen trying to fix match results. This report from Angus Scott.
One of Britain's most experienced and respected former officials, Ken Aston, says he was approached by match-fixing gamblers in Singapore. Two men were prepared to pay him £25,000 simply for names and addresses of referees who might help fix a scoreline in the Premiership.
It was an engineered approach to me to open the gates for getting into players, but especially referees in England.
After the meeting a month ago, Ken Aston immediately faxed a report to the Football Association in London, warning of the information he'd been given. Yet another threat to a football season already tarnished by similar allegations. This is Angus Scott for London Tonight.
Tonight's football results now, and in the Carling Premiership, Manchester United and Spurs played a 0-0 draw. QPR beat Norwich 2-0 and Southampton drew 1-1 with West Ham. And one match in the Ensley League Division 1, Portsmouth beat Millwall 3-2. And finally, looking for some inspiration to brighten up your home? Well, you're bound to find it at the Ideal Homes exhibition, which opens at Earl's Court tomorrow. And if you're curious about how the stars live, well, the exhibition gives you a chance to sneak a peek at Jane Asher's kitchen, Mr. Motivator's bathroom, Norma Major's living room, and Anne Diamond's baby's nursery. That's all tonight. We're back tomorrow morning with bulletins in GMTV from 6:15. Good night.
Hello, good evening. Well, the main hazard to point out tonight is ice leading to slippery stretches, so do take it easy just in case you're out and about on those roads. As you'd expect, it's a cold and frosty night, and tomorrow a day of showers, especially later on. Back to the moment at hand, showers are rapidly fading away, dipping temperatures though, but they are maintained in central London itself. Very light winds, at least for the moment. On to tomorrow morning, a bright, dry start, bit of a false start. Soon that cloud starts bubbling up and we see showers to the west of London. During the course of the afternoon, even more in the way of cloud, strengthening winds, and showers could crop up virtually anywhere at all. Now, temperatures are fair old struggling up to around about 10. If you prefer that in Fahrenheit, that's 50, but feeling chilly, of course, in those rather strong westerly winds. And that's about the sum of it for now. Here's our weather summary.
When it's sport in question, everyone wants to put in their full penny.
Apart from earning the money out of this sport, what enjoyment do you get out of it?
It's a matter of supply and demand.
It does seem that football in this country is in the gutter.
It's true, isn't it?
We don't control the game anymore.
You'll never change that.
Sport in question, Monday at 10:40 on Carlton.
Now, Bob Wilson and Jack Charlton guide you through tonight's action in the Champions League.